Barry J. And he ended up having a mutual friend, and the mutual friend knew how big of a fan, Barry was of Friday the 13th, and
Right.
basically set them up on like a dinner, like set them up for dinner so they can meet each other and kind of talk
Holy
about
shit.
Friday the 13th and do whatever. So at that dinner, Barry had mentioned that he had become the producer on our show, and kind of showed him the trailer, and Tom was impressed with it, and just, Barry asked him if he would want to come and just meet me and see if we would want to do a cameo, and he said he'd think about it, and we ended up having lunch maybe a couple weeks after that, and it went really well. It was like Tom and I kind of sat down and just got to know each other, and I told him about what our goals were for the film and what we were thinking about doing, and all the the cabin that we had found. I showed him like the new trailer that we were working on, and yeah, he just really became like a champion of the project after that, and was like, yeah, I'm in. Just let me know when it's ready, and we'll go from there. And we started working in like his role, and I started to rewrite the ending scene so he would, have more. So he would have like a little bit more to do, and so we went back and forth. It probably took about maybe 3 to 4 months to kind of get that together, and then in July we shot with Tom, put that all together, and put his scene in there, and then that's he came with us to Telluride to help promote the film, and we premiered the Telluride Horror Show. We stay in contact now, just to say hey and to see how things are going, and want to work in the future, want to work on possible more projects. So it's been a really great kind of ride with that, and getting to know Tom and working with him. It's been awesome.
I have to tell you, the fans, the number one thing, like even people say to me, and when they email me, like, like, hey, great video, great interview with Vince, and, tell him that people are so freaked out and psyched up that you got him in there, because, like, people were like, whatever happened to Tom Matthews, whatever happened to Tommy Jarvis, and to get him in that movie, like, that was so key. But, like, they're like, not to take away from the film, they said, we love the way Vince played Jason, but they were so psyched you got Tom in there. Like, it was like, that's like the highlight of the film too, but like for me, it's the whole movie, the whole movie. Just love it.
Well, I think that like one of the things that happened when I talked to Tom, and when I found out that he was interested in a lot of the film shot, and to go back and rewrite it would just cost too much money, and it would just kind of be weird, and I don't know if we could do it right. I think it would be better if you just told our story and we gave you a cameo role. That way, when you show up in this scene, I'm going to tell you, it's
I'm
like
in
when
your
you show
live
up,
stream
fans
repeat.
are going to lose their minds, and it's going to be an even greater,
oh my God!
kind of surprise for everybody.
I'm sorry. Jason's there. I just was at the exit, and he just got me. Oh my God!
Oh, have to escape.
I just did. I had the pocket knife. Oh my God! So sorry I interrupted you.
That's the thing I love about this game, is you can still get scared by the game because Jason just pops up all of a sudden.
He just popped up. He popped up just right next to me. But yeah, so getting back to Tom, so Tom was pleased at coming in. I mean, he was happy when you guys asked him, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, he was super, he was, I guess like he should, I'm sure he had his reservations. But I think once he sat down and he saw what we were doing for the project, and he saw the potential, and then, he came out to set, it was... he had a great time out there, and I could tell that he was like having a lot of fun, and he really enjoyed the film. He has, he's had nothing but great things to say about it. He came all the way to Telluride with us to screen it. And came up on stage with us, and said lots of great things, and it was really, he's really funny. I mean, he's such a great guy, and he was, he's a childhood hero of mine, and I thought the same thing. Like, whatever happened to Tommy, I'd rather see a story about Tommy than I would about, really anything else. So, we really worked hard on where we thought Tommy could go. And even though it's just a brief moment, there's a whole story to where me and Tom have sat down and really talked about it. And an opportunity to tell his story, in a
emoji grin.
Piece.
Thank God it actually fit.
Really
Thanks, welcome to my stream.
Giving it away or whatever, I mean, and maybe you can't talk about it or mention it, but like... could we even possibly down the road ever expect to see Tom Matthews play Tommy Jarvis again, or would that just default to another actor or something? I mean, or is this, maybe he won't. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean, like,
Anything?
the thing is that, like, if we ever did Never Hike Alone 2, I mean, he would be Tommy.
Oh, definitely.
100%. 100%. Now,
Definitely.
I can't speak for the studios, but I don't think the studios would go for it. I don't know. It depends. It would seem like it would be like a no-brainer, but to them, I could see them recasting it into a younger role because of the way that those marketing companies work and the way that they would want to market films and stuff like that. It just,
Right.
at the end of the day, it just all depends on who gets it.
Right.
And we'll see. I don't know. Fans have been asking for a long time for alumni to make appearances in the film and come back in some way, shape, or form. And you really haven't, you haven't seen studios really jump at that idea. And I think that we showed that it's worth it. Like, if you go
You're
back and you
welcome.
bring back the people who were in the originals and continue their stories, that the fans are still there to watch them, and there will be new horror fans. And
Exactly.
new
Would you
avenues
ever
like Netflix, things like that, yeah.
would you ever have an idea for bringing in some other actors that were involved? If, let's say, you had an opportunity, let's say you had the backing, or you had
Oh, totally.
someone came up, would you bring in some other famous people, like from like different parts of other movies, or would you just kind of stick with your own like casting? Or I don't know.
If it makes sense, you know what I mean. And we already do
Yep.
have an idea for bringing in one specific character that we think would be a great
Stop.
callback. But
Aye.
other than that, I've talked to other alumni. I think that, like, I don't know if I would
Hey,
necessarily
everyone.
make everything about Never Hike Alone, but I think that there are definitely other avenues for other projects and other shorts and other types of digital media that can come out where you could do shorts about these characters and see where they are now. And I think that there's an audience of Friday the 13th fans that would watch it, especially if it's done with semi-professional quality. If it's done with the Never Hike Alone, like, it wasn't made with a ton of money, but we try to be as cinematic as
Hey,
possible.
Journal.
Cinematic, if they create things at that cinematic level, they could get a really good response from fans.
Pardon me just for a second. I didn't see. I thought we lost someone, but Six, you're still here, aren't you, Michael? Are you still here?
I think
I don't.
that's who we lost.
Okay, let
Here.
me see if I can get him back in on the chat. Give me 1 second. I'll be right with you. Let's see. The other thing too, Mike, was we lost one other question that he had asked, and I want him to ask it, and you'll know when he comes back in or whatever. We'll remember. Actually, we could all go back into, if we can't get him here, we could probably go into game chat. Let me see. That, you know what? Can we all switch to game chat real quick? Is that okay? Everyone,
Yeah.
That'll be
just
fine.
go to game chat because he's in there. Sorry.
I'll do that. Mentioned this last time, but I'm glad that I thought about it now, was like when the Terminator first arrives, you know what I mean? Like, you can be bent at the knee and have a very powerful posture, and I thought that was a more powerful posture than bending over at the waist. It's, I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit of a vulnerable position, if you ask me.
Right.
So that's the way I kind of see Jason's movement. I saw him as kind of like a Terminator, like very, he knows that he's got power. He knows that, like, he works a certain way, but at the same time, like, he's old, and when we're old, we don't bend at the waist. We have to get down and bend at the knee, and he has to move a certain way too. So there's a lot of thought that went into it. Yeah, tossing the main cabin, that was definitely inspired by part two, and like,
Oh my god.
the way that he would, search people out, and be active about it, and which I thought would bring a lot to the role.
You also made him the way we all expected him to be, which is good because you want to make him as a strong presence, and you brought that into the film because, like, especially to be honest, I love like the audio things that you guys did to bring in, like when you're walking around and it's like thump thump thump, like to show like a powerful presence, like Jason is still strong. He may be 25 years later or 20 years later, but he's still strong as ever, you know.
He carries weight with himself, and it's one of those things where like we also tried to be diligent, and I had to work with the sound team on this to be like, listen, like it's not always a heavy step. Like he knows how to lighten his step. It's just when he's angry and he's moving fast.
Exactly.
Is when he's not trying to hide himself at that point. He's out in the open and he's doing it. So it kind of gives it that. Yeah, and it gives him weight. It sets him apart from what's his face, from Kyle, in weight. It shows the difference in their sizes. And yeah, I mean, overall, like, you're talking about, like, we actually get a lot of slack for the footsteps, and I think part of it is
I love it. I think it's excellent. And that takes place? I'm sorry. Did that takes place 20 years after Manhattan, right?
It takes place in modern day. Yeah, so it takes place like it's today. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. See, that's what I love about it. I'm sorry, I interrupted you on the what you saying.
No,
sorry.
Fine.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I was actually running around. I just saw something.
Oh, okay.
Now I gotta figure out how to do one thing.
And guys, if you guys want to jump in and ask some questions, go right ahead. My family here, I'm not going to keep asking questions. We're going to play the game here, but I just wanted, we do have them in here, and it's an opportunity to ask a few questions that we had lost in the last interview I actually had with Vince. But if you guys have any questions, go right ahead and ask. It's an open game, no? And he'd be more than happy to answer them.
Oh yeah.
So you do have fans here.
Like my questions are, I have two. Like what, like how, like did the everything go? Like the weather, like was it all like always sunny, or did you have like a few days rain, or like it would change?
Oh no, the weather was awful. The weather was awful. The weather like worked against us the entire time. We had a lot of stuff that worked against us. That hopefully we were able to kind of work around and make work for us. Like we weren't supposed to have any snow in the film. We have a little bit in there. There's things like, I mean, like the coldness. Like we shot us one time in May, and it was 27 degrees out, and it was freezing cold. So it was really like. We had a really challenging shoot that night. It started to snow that night. It's like the final scene where Jason and Kyle kind of confront each other on the porch. If you look at the back as Kyle's kind of like moving away from the cabin, you see that there's like precipitation falling, and that's actually snow. But in the camera it looks like rain, and you're like, oh, okay, like they're so light. I was like, but we're all freezing our asses off here. Yeah, and so you have like, so I have actors laying down on concrete and, all bloodied. Freezing their asses off. So there's a lot to do, like, from the standpoint of not just.
And by the way, guys. Vince actually, to be more like Jason, actually spent time, staying inside the cabin when everyone else was kind of, I'm dead. When everyone else was staying at like in hotels or motels or something like that. Is that right, Vince?
Yeah, I mean that was also to cut costs too.
Oh, of course, but you got into the role as Jason.
Yeah.
But you got into the role as him.
Going up there a lot definitely put me in that headspace of like what it would be like to live there for a long time, for sure. And just taking care of that place too, which was like it felt like it became like a responsibility. And in a sense, like even now, like I went up there for Thanksgiving and stayed there with my brothers. We just popped up in the main cabin and just like put up some hammocks and put a fire in that little fireplace and just hung out. So, I still feel like a deep connection to that place because of what it gave to us for the film and just the experiences that I've had there. Like, I'm going to continue to go there over time and just take care of it just because of how, it's a place that I care about.
You like that, asshole?
When you were playing Jason, in your head, I mean, obviously, you got to watch what you do to try to not hurt people and stuff, but, like, in real life, but, like, did you, like, really try to put yourself in the frame of mind of Jason, like, as because all of those movements and all those subtleties you did, like, people say, hey, there can't be that much, they haven't said it to me, but, like, most people, like, they have opinions, and they say, well, how much acting can you really do with wearing a mask? And I'll tell you, there's a whole lot of acting. There's a lot of acting.
Yeah,
The people don't understand what movements, what thoughts goes into it. So if you want to tell us, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it comes down to mostly, posture and maintaining a strong posture and not, creating movements that make Jason seem weak or less intimidating than he should feel. There's certain ways you carry your body and you carry your weight around that, will come across a certain way on screen. And if you don't watch your posture, if you don't watch the way you walk, if you don't watch the way that you carry yourself, you can come across as less intimidating. And that was one thing we really paid attention to when either I or Brian was in the costume, because I did have a, we did have a stunt double.
Brian Forrest was your stunt double. Yep.
For a lot of the major camera work and major stunt scenes that required characters to like being thrown through the table and a lot of the fighting and getting hit with objects and things like that. Like, even though I was willing to go ahead and take whatever they were going to throw at me, the stunt coordinator was like, if you get hurt, like, we're all screwed. Like, it doesn't matter like whether you can do it or not. It's the fact that like there's a high probability that someone's going to get hurt, and we'd rather have it be a stuntman than have it be you. So not only do you have to learn how to act as Jason, you need to then help someone else portray your version of it, which was also, it's an additional challenge to do that as well.
My second question is...
Oh, go ahead, Joker.
Are you, like in the Friday the 13th universe, what brought me into the whole Friday the 13th movie is because there was that one town loon that believed that everything was cursed and people would die if they went to the camp. I want to know if you would ever think about bringing in one of those into the Never Hike Alone universe.
Yeah, and I think to a certain degree, like, it's Tommy. Like, I think Tommy's kind of become Crazy Ralph, you know what I mean? Like, he's living in camp at the lake. He's the one who's still afraid. He's the one who's still afraid, but he's obviously got that history there. And I think that overall, I think you have that. I think you have, like, there's a story there. And I think anyone who's a fan of Friday the 13th probably has their own theory about what Camp Crystal Lake is, what it means to people, and why it is the way it is, and how this person was able to come back from the dead, and all this stuff. Like, there's something that's got to be supernatural that's around the camp. And, the thought of a curse, the thought of this place being cursed, is a classic, horror movie trope. So it fits so well in the Friday the 13th universe. I think it's something that's worth exploring in order to, give some longevity to multiple films that, the way it can affect people, how it can bring people back in the way that it can do there. And like, what happened before, was there anything that ever happened before, Camp Crystal Lake, which is an interesting thought.
I totally agree.
Like, I always think of like stories about like when the Christies opened Camp Crystal Lake in 1935, did they experience any like Amityville horror type, stories or something like that? I think that's like something that would be very interesting to explore and tell a story about. Things like
and
that.
A lot of people don't know that Vince actually has another story written, ready to rock and roll and go if he need be for the future. But it would take a larger production. You want to tell us just a little bit about not the story, but what it takes to actually do that?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Never Hike Alone. We were able to accomplish a lot of what we did and put care into the camera because people donated their time, because people donated their equipment. And that's not something you can ask for more than once. Aside
Hi
from
guys.
that, it's shooting in multiple locations, it's hiring multiple actors, it's not just shooting like once on the weekend. It's shooting for 3 weeks in a row.
Hi Wicco, welcome.
Right.
You just get
Ah,
hit.
dang
He
it,
got me.
Jason. Again.
He got me.
Out through the window.
I will kill you,
God.
Tommy.
Jason,
It's
you
always
have a
challenging
couple of
to, like,
people
do an
that have
interview
been
when you
commenting
chase
on your
around like
stream.
Jason.
Oh, thank you. King Fox, how you doing? I'm sorry, brother. I want to just tell everyone, sorry to interrupt Vincente and you guys, but I wanted to let everyone know that we are streaming here with Vincente DiSanti from Womstorm Films. He is the director and actor who played Jason Voorhees in the movie. If you guys have not seen that movie, please look on YouTube. Go to YouTube and you can watch it actually for free. So we are here with Vincente, and that's why you probably hear us talking. I'm sorry if I ignored a few people here. I didn't mean to. And now I am dead because of it. He just killed Tommy. Oh, God, Joker. You got me. Put an axe right through my head. Oh, my God, that's a brutal kill. Woo, boy. Wow.
But like Vince, I love what you did with Tommy in the movie. How you brought him back as an ambulance driver because like Tommy,
Hi Reaper,
like,
hi
he
Journal.
has a bad reputation with the police, like because of the whole Jason Voorhees situation.
I couldn't see what I was doing.
Oh, by
How's
the
it
way, King J Fox is 23. His name is Tony Clements. He asks, how do you know when the Virtual Cabin 2 is coming out? And earlier today, I put out a I don't know if Vince, you might have saw it, Vince. I put out an update in explaining what Ilphonic said. That right now they're not doing any updates for the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. And I really think that around Christmas time, we're basically going to see something. And I'm just glad they addressed it because a lot of people, like, they left people not intentionally hanging, but they can't tell us. You know, they want to surprise us. So they are working hard on all these things. So just bear with them, guys. And
the footsteps of Jason in the movie were spine-tingling.
My guess is we'll be getting that around Christmas. That's my guess. What do you think, Vince? Your personal opinion?
I mean, no one... You know, I've met these guys, and I can tell you that, like, their number one, like, concern is always, you know, the fans and the quality. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a mixture there. It's like sometimes, like, it's always good to set goals, but, you know, there's no sense
it's a great movie
quality for the sense of doing it. And I think that's a lesson that they learned from, like, the initial release of the game. Because it came out and it had all of the...
Good thank Reaper, you.
That's hilarious. Did anyone just see Six Eyed Snake jump through the window?
Yes, he just jumped through, and he had. Did you see the bear trap on him?
In the zone.
That's hilarious. So I mean, things like that, you know what I mean? But when I went out with them, and I had a chance to hang out with them for a little bit, you know, all they could talk about was like quality, and you know, I watched. You know, I actually got to see them working on the Ted White Jason, and Ronnie was really, you know. He's like me and like all you guys. He's a big Friday the 13th fan.
Ronnie Hobbs.
Yeah, and he was just like really into, you know, he was really on top of them about making, you know, Ted White look good. And
oh
I think,
God,
you know, without a doubt, he looks great, right?
He looks awesome.
They're just putting that type of thought and care into what they're doing, and if they need a couple more weeks, that means that, you know, they've found things that they need to fix. You know, not just overlooking at it. I think they're learning from the lessons of doing this. They're a small company. You know, it's not
Alice is here too.
It's not, you know, some warehouse full of people. It's like an office, you know, full of people, like dozens of people, not hundreds, who are that group get it, like, you know, at like
Six is dead.
No, he's got the thing on. Like you would like
in the stream,
like a Rockstar Games or something like that. And at the same time, because we got such a small company working on it, they're the ones who are paying attention to the details. Like, you know, if you have a larger company doing it and this isn't their sole focus, and their sole focus isn't making the fans happy, you're not going to get, you know, models that look the way that these do. You're not going to get, you know, such attention to detail within the cabins. You're going to get a generic camp.
Hi Alice, emoji red heart. Love, you know, getting to listen in on this conversation.
You're not going to get the type of handling here you're going to get with the gun media and
Well, I've always told, you know, the fans and people, you know, because on my channel a lot of people rely on me for news source, you know, because I come usually directly from the source, but I do some speculation on the channel. But a lot of times people are so grateful because they're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that they posted that in the forums. They're like, oh, thank you for, because I try to show them like, hey, these guys are working hard for us here. And I mean, yeah, people are frustrated at some level, but I said, hey, as long as they're moving forward, they're doing things, that's all we can expect. I mean, they can't work miracles overnight. It takes time to do this. It's a big production in the back end of all this. So,
I mean, and we're getting to play the game while they tweak it. You know what I mean? It's like,
She's playing Ark LOL.
It's
fans
great.
have direct input into the game. They listen to fans. I mean, they made changes to the game based on fan input. You know what I mean? Like, what other game? I mean, there are other games. I'm not a huge gamer, so I mean, I wonder, like, do other systems do that, or do they completely ignore their fan bases and just basically do whatever they want?
Right. And, you know, it's, like I said, I just said to people, you know, please have patience. I mean, a lot of people are a little upset, and this fact is that and I touched on this in about 4 of my other videos on my channel, was the Savini Jason thing. And I think what most people were upset about is the fact that they just felt like cheated because, and they're not totally blaming Gun Media because whatever, but they were trying to say, hey, why did they release the PS4 version on PS4 for free, or I'm sorry, for people to buy it for $6.99, and then they let it out for free, or Xbox let it out for free for a whole day. And what the controversy is on both sides, there's people that say, hey, no one deserves to have that but the backers, and then the other people say, well, what about the people who have it already, 10,000, whatever it is, people that shouldn't have it? And I always say, I'm kind of a happy medium. I say, I don't mind that people don't have it, but I wish they would take it away from the ones that do. And then on the other hand, if you're going to let those people have it, I say, why not release it? At least one day. Do a general release of it. So there's kind of like a seesaw effect going there. So, I mean, without you going too into detail. We can make it
like the McRib.
Yeah, exactly. The McRib. Exactly. Which now I'm getting hungry.
They should add Savini on the Game of the Year edition of Friday the 13th.
Ah. See,
yeah, I mean,
I guess
you know, if in my opinion, like, if it helps the game, like, I'm all for it. If they wanted to release Savini Jason, like, that's fine. It's the fact that I got an exclusive, like,
with Friday
it was ready, like, that's what made me happy. Like, and it's cool, and I think people should be able to play with Savini. I think he's one of the best
LOL
in the game. And
which you will be killing us next in a few minutes, by the way.
Go ahead. Quiet, you know.
Go ahead. No, you said he's the best in the game. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, he's one of the best, and, you know, especially if you like a shifting style Jason, like, he's got definitely a very aggressive style you can play with him. But yeah, I wouldn't mind fans having it. I think that it should, and you know, there's more Jasons that are coming out, and you know,
people don't know, Vince. People don't know that you spent time down at the studios with Gun Media. You were there. You saw Kane. Were you with Kane when he was doing some stuff? Oh, you were.
Yeah, I got to go to the second mocap session where they did all the new kills for single player.
Wow, you were. I saw that too. I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah, if you watched the Periscope by Randy Greenback.
A Friday the 1/3 sandwich. LOL.
Oh my God, that's so cool. That's awesome.
I mean, like, you know, Larry Zernis stopped by that day. Kane was there. You know, there was Rich Malcolm. Rich Mitchum, like, he's one of, I'm saying it wrong, it's Rick McCallum or something like that. He's a big stunt guy, and he's worked with Kane for a decade. And, you know, Ronnie was there, Randy was there, the guys from Ilphonic were there, and it was really cool. It was just really good to see them going, and there's some really funny kills coming. You know, there's some really good environment kills that they're working on, and it's gonna be, you know, I think fans are really going to enjoy it. I think that, you know, they just need time to work on it, and it seems what they're doing is very complex, and they're very, you know, detail oriented. So it's just going to be a matter of time before they, you know, they lock it in. They you know, they dot all their I's and cross all their T's and get it going.
King J Fox asked you a question. He says, speaking of Friday the 13th, he says, there's rumors going around that there might be another Friday the 13th movie, and he says, is that true? And if so, do you know when
with the one-day trial as a gift with purchase?
The only rumor that came out lately, which was kind of debunked just because the legal issues right now are kind of keeping everything at a pause. For those of you who don't know, the original writer, Victor Miller of
I
Friday the
agree.
13th from 1980, the original with Pamela Voorhees, is suing Horror Inc., which is the company owned by Sean Cunningham, the person who actually owns the rights to this game. Like, he lent out the rights. He's the person who contacted Gun Media and said, I love what you're doing with Summer Camp. Like, just have the rights to Friday the 13th, whatever. So they're arguing over who is the actual owner of Friday the 13th, and there's certain laws that could give it to Victor or split up certain things, and so companies are waiting for that to get settled. Also this year, Paramount is losing their distribution rights to and production rights to Friday the 13th. They purchased it about 10 years ago when they made an exchange with Warner Brothers for the Interstellar rights. Paramount regained the rights to Friday the 13th, partnered with Platinum Dunes. They made the 2009 version, and then we had what's that?
Does that resort somehow back to New Line Cinema?
Yeah, and so now after 10 years, that was how long the rights were purchased for. Now this year it's going to go back to New Line, and it's going to go back to, which is actually a parent company, which is a sub-company of Warner Brothers. And they're going to have to figure out of whether or not they're going to sell the rights back off, if they're going to invest in it themselves. Are they going to look to a company like Vertigo, who just did It, to bring back Friday the 13th? Or do they go after a Blumhouse? Do they go after, a Monkey Paw? Do they go after all these like smaller production companies that would probably follow a different model on how to bring it back to life? And the only thing I heard was that, 2020 is the 40-year reunion of Friday the 13th. And it would be a great year, and it would seem to fit a production model for them to get started early next year or mid next year once they get the rights figured out, and then have something ready by 2020.
Vince, I know that you probably couldn't talk about this even if you could, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of fans that feel the same way as I do. I hope you are the next Jason in the feature film. I want them to make you Jason, because you did such a great job. I mean, my second choice would be Kane, only because I loved what you did in that movie, and I just hope they make you Jason. So.
Well, I mean, and I think that the thing is I think that as much as I love playing Jason, if I had the opportunity to go and make another one, I probably wouldn't play Jason again. I would hire an actor and I would love to work with a guy like Derek Mears, because I think I would have directed him in a much different way, and I would have brought something much different from imagine all the things that all
yes,
the kind of
you are a great Jason.
Brought to Jason with my performance, to have you have to understand that I did it, but I'm definitely a novice when it comes to it. And when you put somebody like a Derek Mears in a costume like that, they know so much about physical acting that it's like night and day. And I really think that he, guys like him and guys like Kane, who are, real craft, they're real craftsmen of what they do. And people who say oh, you just strap on the mask and you just do it, I think that's really underestimating what, physical stunt actors and character actors can do, and the way that they can transform their body and create emotion with it.
Well, let's hopefully at some point, maybe there'll be some collaboration that the studios will at least have you, or maybe they'll ask you to direct it, or maybe maybe they'll be co-directing. I don't know how that goes, but we would love to see it. I would love to see it, and let's just cross our fingers here.
I love Never Hike Alone. I would love to see you direct another movie.
Hey, ready up, Game Reaper, because
I'd take it any day.
There we go. Yeah. So, oh man, we're just psyched because there's so many. I realize there's going to be so many more opportunities.
Alice, emoji red heart.
In the future, I don't think we've seen the last of Jason.
No, not at all. I think that there's so much there in time. One of the things is that we've actually had 30 years that have passed, and you can actually go back to any point in those 30 years and tell another story. You can do period pieces. You can do stuff that happens now. You can go back before it happened. You can do a story about Pamela. You can do, different stories about the different characters that have been in the franchise. They don't have to go to the theater. Some of them can go directly to Netflix. I would love to see an 8-part Netflix series that has 8 new Friday the 13th.
How are you, Wicca?
Right. That would be awesome. I agree. A mini Yeah, mini series or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't even have to all be connected. They can be all
Watch out, everyone. We're all dead because Vince is gonna kill us all.
We're doomed.
We're doomed.
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I see you guys blinking on the map already.
Oh my God.
Hey.
Oh my. See, I've never played Savini. I don't have Savini, so he must have some really cool features.
They get some cool kills. He's got really great music.
Oh man, that's terrifying. And by the way, who did the music for your? Did you have a like, especially the opening scene where the music?
Working too hard.
Was that a band you had brought in?
That was actually me and my two friends, Lenny and.
Are
Dave.
you serious?
We were in a band together. Yeah, so I wrote that song because I needed something. Yeah, for free.
Oh my God, dude, that's awesome! I didn't know you were a musician. I'm a drummer, by the way. I've been a drummer my whole life. I actually was in a Kiss tribute band a few years ago. Yeah, so I was the Peter Criss in Kiss Forever, which is a band that's still continuing. And this is a secret. That
I thought his Jason was fresh new.
This is the first time I'm actually saying this publicly. I was known as Brian S.E.A. in that band, and people can kind of look up some stuff on me on that. But I'm a musician myself, so that's great.
Cool,
that's cool.
Yeah, no, thanks. I don't know if I'm so much a musician, but I've I've played guitar for a lot of my life.
Oh, you sound eager.
I wanted a really good I was going for something that was in the vein of a skate, how do I explain it? Like a skate video punk song. That's what I wanted. And we had some really good stuff. We actually had Suicidal Tendencies in there. And then
Yeah, his is a new take on Jason.
Maybe that's not the best thing to do because, we could get sued for that. And so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna write a song then. So I ended up doing that. The other
these are cool facts. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you, but these are cool
I wanna
facts
rock and roll all night.
Just totally love, and continue. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Basically,
No, I actually got a new job today, waiting to hear when MG orientation is going on.
Whatever we could in our own. Like a good friend of mine, Trevor Vaughn, wrote the song at the end. Another Soul, which that song's 4 or 5 years old, and I've wanted to be the end song to the film for 3-4 years. So I was use that.
I just got a lot on my mind.
Fantastic. And then how about the intermediate music or in the middle? All the scary stuff.
That was done by a friend of mine named.
2 jobs will be exhausting.
Oh, where is he?
Oh God, I'm dead. I forgot it was you, Vince. Oh my God, I can't get out of here. I can't move.
I'll bet.
I'm gonna be dead in about 20 seconds. Oh my God, I can't. Oh man, run, Lisa, run. Oh boy.
I'm DM away. Emoji green heart.
Uh-oh, cat and mouse game ensues now.
Actually, you're hurt. I'm gonna snag you up really easy.
Oh
I'm just standing here at the door, basically watching you two run around in a circle around a car. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of entertaining.
Oh my God, that's that kill is brutal. The pitchfork to the back of the head.
No.
Good one, Vince.
Thanks, Wicca.
Oh, I'm having such a great time chatting. I forgot about surviving.
Oh, I'm having a great time as well. I love knowing all this.
Well, this must be a treat for all my family members here because this is so cool. We didn't expect you to be here, and by the way, today is Game Reaper 218's day. He has a YouTube channel called Gamers Kona Game Reaper 218, and he's got a wonderful channel, and I had to give him a shout out here, and I'm sorry. But I'm just so enthralled, and it's so cool to be able to chat with you again, and you coming in and playing. It's a big treat for the fans. They all love it. I've been getting multiple emails from many people. They're freaked out. They're like,
it's an honor to be killed by Jason.
I basically said, you know, I've been supporting Vince since the very beginning. I mean, especially when I started my channel, I knew about this movie, but I never saw it. But I kept shouting out, "Hey guys, there's going to be a new, you know, don't worry about the feature film, because guess what? We got an awesome fan film coming out." And I was just totally talking about it all the time.
Hey, where'd you come from?
So I was just pleased to do it, you know, and I will continue, you know.
Thanks, man.
You know, welcome, my friend. And we thank you for being here, you know, because it's a big honor, really an honor to have you.
And I really gotta thank you for making the film. It's really good, and I love what you did with Tommy and everything.
Oh, look at this kill. Bang!
Ugh.
Nice kill. So, for anyone that's joining the stream late or whatever, we are here with our family crew that I stream with. We're also here with Lippy Lisa today. She is she's not new. We've been friends for a while, but now we have her in the stream. I'm so pleased to have her. And we do have a guest in here on Films. And this was a surprise. I did not know, but we got him in. And wow, they're giving him some dental work there, huh, Vince? Oh boy, that's a good one. Yeah. Oh, so please, anyone watching, please go to wompstompfilms.com and check him out on Instagram, Twitter, and also on Facebook as well. And you can see the movie for free on YouTube. You just search for Never Hike Alone. Never Hike Alone, and that's the Friday the 13th fan film. And with that said, Joker wanted to say something. Go ahead, Joker.
Yeah, I want to ask another question. Like, what made you like want to make Tommy like the ambulance driver in the movie? Because I know, like, from the original Friday the 13th movies, Tommy's had a run-in with the law. He has a bad reputation. People think he's crazy. So, how did Tommy go from like basically town crazy to working with the police and the whole ambulance thing?
For me, that was kind of like Tommy, like after getting out of the mental institution and trying to find like a way to kind of get back into life. Sorry, before he could like kind of get back into life, like he needed to find something that like would be a calling for him. And to me, that was becoming a paramedic, because he's just so, he's had so much trauma in his life. He seemed like somebody who would be like the perfect person to be in that situation. He finds solace in taking care of other people. He's been around that type of, life for a long time. So we just thought it was something that like I could see him growing into that role, as far as like what are the types of things that he could do. Like he's very cool under pressure. Nothing would really shock him.
Hi, Joker.
It's nothing he hasn't seen before. And I think that like dealing with his own trauma, the only way he can do it is if he helps other people. And so he's constantly drawn to conflict. He's constantly drawn to
Reaper.
Things like accidents and putting himself in danger for the sake
Hi,
of other
Joker.
people.
How are you?
And it seemed like it would be like a really good progression for his character. And that's kind of like how we took it. And that's something I talked about with Tom. And
I'm good. Today is my birthday.
About right. And really kind of took to that type of role for him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, welcome to the stream, Sophie2217. How you doing? And hey, there's a question I want to ask you, Vince. Just one other one I had. Do you think in the future, like say you do go with a big production, something happens and it works for you, would you consider ever bringing in like maybe Tom Savini or actually, how about a collaboration with Kelsey again? Bring Kelsey in and have her work with Tom Savini.
I think I would bring Kelsey in again in a heartbeat. And
Happy birthday. Emoji happy tears. Emoji wrapped cake. Emoji balloon. Emoji green heart.
Oh.
Well, I really enjoyed how you did Tommy. I really
Happy
did.
day, Joker.
I felt like that's a suiting fit for him too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think it's a fit, and I think that like him being the driver, kind of like he can be a loner. He's got the kids he goes out with, but like they might think he's weird. but at the same time, like we talked about it, like he takes care of his team. Like he's very much, you know, he's very protective of the people around Camp Crystal Lake.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Kelsey Burke is fantastic, and we did mention in that interview like how wonderful that makeup work was, and the way you decided.
Thanks, Rupert. Thanks,
to
Wicca.
actually do a face reveal, and we're so happy you did that because oh my God, it was awesome, and the teeth and the way you looked, it was just incredible. So she did a great job, by the way.
Oh, Snake is still around.
Yeah, he's around. He's around. He's playing.
Happy birthday, Joker.
He just can't, for some reason, his thing's not working, the microphone or whatever, but that's okay. He loves it that you're here.
Well, I survived as long as I could.
Yep. And, oh, lights out in Georgia, huh?
He's an AJ, so he's going to be hidden for a while.
Thank you, Ellis.
Hey, Zombie Dave, Doofus, would you like to ask Vince any questions or anything? Or any of you other guys want to ask him any questions? You go right ahead. He's available.
No, I'm good. I'm just happy that he made that film. I'm a big fan, and I thought he did a wonderful job. I loved it.
Great. Yeah, Dave is a super horror fan. He loves anything to do with Jason, and especially your film. And Lippy Lisa, she's gonna watch that soon. She did check out the interview though, didn't you, Lisa? You watched the interview, didn't you? I think, or at least part of it.
Hey, sorry about that. As you can all tell, I have the baby in the background. I was just dealing for a moment.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, I was just wondering I'm wondering if you did see part of, or listen to part of the interview, right? I mean, a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, yeah. Just definitely check the movie out, because that's...
I'm not going to lie. I didn't even know about it. So I will be, like, tonight I will be watching it in bed, snuggled up, having a watch.
Nice. Yeah, you'll love it. It's really cool. And then Game Reaper, you saw it too, right, Game? You saw the
Yeah, I did. I'm actually even working on a review of it.
Oh yeah, by the way, Vince, I don't know if you know, I mean, Game Reaper has a smaller channel, but he does a lot of different videos and stuff, and he did make like a little, like, what was it, a commercial or something, you know, just a simple one, but it had, like, you know, You're Never Hike Alone, picture, you know, with you and Kyle all standing together, and that's going to lead into one other question.
I made a mini movie of retro Jason.
Yeah, exactly,
I'm back.
Because he's a big fan.
How's it going?
But that's the one. Did you do like like preliminary, you know, pictures? Like, I mean, there's all these different scenes, like pictures. You're standing side by side. But I saw one where you weren't wearing your cowl. Is that true? Did you do one with just the mask on?
Great.
No cowl? Or how was that?
No, sometimes I would just be off to the side, kind of just off to the side doing like...
It's going real good, Journal.
Before I would put the cowl on.
Okay.
Because it gets really hot in there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
That's good.
Six is still alive, and he's the only one alive. Oh boy. You're hunting him. Oh my God.
Well, I got all my questions out of the way, and I'm glad you answered them, Vincent.
That's awesome.
This is the
Hey,
best
King
part.
J. Fox. He said, so my question is straight up, why did they have Jason in Friday the 13th series? Why didn't they? Why didn't they? See, he's talking about the television series. That, you know, that's a good question. I never really got the answer from that one either. But it wasn't really based. It was. They only took the name, but they didn't do anything about that, right, Vince? Like the series.
Yeah, they actually really focused on like the curse aspect of it. And it was basically the.
I sent you photo of my birthday cake, Journal.
Jason as the main protagonist, like that was the way they went with it. They kind of went with more of an anthology.
Yep.
Hang on.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Oh!
Hi, Joker. Hi, Alice. Hi, Wicca.
Oh my God! Get out of there, snake! Oh! Oh wow!
Come on, Snake. Don't end up
I
like
saw
that Snake
it.
in the first movie.
And
get
it
his
looks
head
good.
cut off.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I'm
no,
going to send
Snake.
one to
That was
Reaper and
nice. Of
Alice
course
after
he
the
does.
stream. Hi, Journal.
Well, I have a knife as well, so.
Where are you?
Hey, but Jason, like, I've
He's
been playing
gone.
this game a lot, and pocket knives are becoming harder to find.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I said, like, I've been playing this game for a little bit, and, like, pocket knives are getting harder to find recently.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I haven't found a Tommy tape at all. Joker Holly did find one, but he's doing some more dental work there, huh? He wasn't able to retain it.
Not
keep it
me,
or something.
Joker.
He found it, and it was like
Emoji
glitched
anguished
out, and
face.
then never was able to keep the tape. That was weird. But those are things that Gunn will eventually fix, I believe. I mean, I think they will.
Well, I think it's fine because I now have 9 Pamela tapes and I'm supposed to have 1 Tommy. I'll find one eventually again, but it's just gonna take time.
I streamed for 2 months, 3 months, never found one, and I've only found 1 Pamela tape, number 15.
You to
that's
Wicca.
it. But like they did start becoming more available after that last patch that we had, so that's good. I think that Gun Media should do some competition giveaways, like where they would like let people compete to be Jason, and if say you kill 7 out of 7 or 8 out of 8, you can be entered into a contest or something to win some bigger prize. That'd be cool.
Emoji
like,
grin.
They do that with hockey. They do that with NBA games, and I mean, I know there'll be some more cool things that they'll be thinking up, and they are giving away an Origin PC right now. If you go to Friday the 13th, even on their Twitter or on Facebook, you can enter into that contest to win. A lot of people don't even know about the contest. They do have a current contest going on right now. But I hope they do some competition ones where you can compete as Jason or compete as a counselor to be, survive. There's all these things you could do, but, how about a competition where they get to have dinner with you or meet you in Hollywood or something there, Vince, huh? Someone wins something. Totally. That would be cool. And again, I asked you before, and I mean, it might, maybe doing some Comic-Cons in the future, maybe doing some signings, because I'm telling you, there's fans that want to meet you, that's for sure, and I'm one of them.
Cool.
Definitely. But you want to play Jason again? It's okay if you do.
No, pass it around. Pass it around.
Okay, Joker, make Dave, Zombie Dave, Doofus. Make him, no, I don't want to be, make Doofus, go ahead. That's cool, it's all good. There we go. And then, hey, Lisa, you want to be, after, do you want to do, it'll be either Game Reaper or Lisa. Do you want to be Jason? Do you like playing Jason?
I'm alright at the minute. I mean, I'm flittering between, playing the game and, yeah, dealing with my munchkin.
I gotcha. Don't worry. It's all good. We understand. Little baby.
But yeah, I'm
so
still
cute.
here.
Okay, cool. That's cool. All right. And then, sorry, 6, but ready up game. I guess game will make you Jason after. And then.
You had Fox123 message saying that he had the same problem with the Pamela tape, where it glitched out, and then it didn't show up for him as well. He just commented.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Finally, someone else has the same problem as he. This is King J Fox 123. He says, "Thank you. Finally, somebody else had the same problem. I found a Pamela tape and it glitched out, and then he says it doesn't even show up. It's not so. Joker, you're not the only one that got screwed out of a Pamela tape. I mean, out of a Tommy tape or a Pamela tape. There is a glitch.
I know. I know there's a glitch, and I'm just hoping that they'll fix it later on down in the future, so nobody else gets screwed out of their Pamela or Tommy tapes.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't think Gun Media is purposely. They don't want this stuff to happen. They're really trying to fix these things. So I have to give them props. And like I said,
I totally understand.
They're working feverishly to fix these things. But I am so grateful that we have.
It was
game,
cool
because without this game, like I would be depressed. I love this game. And the
I had a
movie.
friend like.
I would have never met you guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know,
Seen it
Vince, that's
3
another
times.
aspect here that I wanted to touch on. You know how many friends have been made just alone off of, like, in general, of thousands
Nice.
and thousands of people that came together because of this game? Like, even females that normally wouldn't even play video games are now coming in to play Friday as a counselor, you know, or whatever. Females, you know. And Lippy's one of them.
Yeah, I mean
Lisa.
that's how I met you. I mean, I was playing with like the people that I met you through on this game. I was originally met on this game, and then I ended up meeting you on the game through them. But it all was through this one game.
That's right. That's right. So I have to say, give shout outs to Gun Media for actually making a platform that brought people together that normally would not even meet each other. You know, I just think it's fantastic. So shout out to Gun Media and shout out to Vincente, because let me tell you, the Friday the 13th community is not dead. It's just arising from its little sleep that it's been in for a little while, but it's never really slept for me. I've been psyched up for months and years, knowing that something good was going to come out of it, and more movies coming forward. And you jump-started the whole thing, really, Vince. I mean, you know, especially when people even see it, they're going to, once you see the movie, you get to see how good that movie really is. The camera work, the makeup, the effects, just everything that went into that movie, and the directing, wonderful directing in that. Just totally. You're welcome.
Just knocked out the power.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
I'm over near you, Vince. I'm over near you now. Okay? You're inside, right?
Yep.
Are you outside?
I'm in here.
Okay, cool. Ooh, bear traps. Oh, AJ. AJ's your favorite too, right?
Yeah, I like playing with AJ.
I died there,
I
lol.
like her, but I love Tiffany for obvious reasons.
I used to like playing with Tiffany because she could run forever, but I got so sick of not being able to fix stuff that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna slow my play down, and I'm gonna learn how to like be a little bit more stealthy and fix and get more points and stuff like that.
Yeah. Don't worry, Vince. I'll protect you if Jason comes after you. I'll hit him with. Oh, you want to grab that? You want to grab that? Go ahead. Come on in the bathroom. You sure? Okay.
Yeah, I'm out here.
Uh-oh, here he comes. I love the music. I'm so into the music, you know, themes, and oh my god. Yeah, so I got a chance. I talked about this before briefly. I got a chance to see John Carpenter in concert live at Club Royale in Boston. It was so awesome. I was gonna try to get an interview with him, but he was so busy with VIP.
LOL.